Hello, everything. Okay, good. I was having issues with my mic. I wanted to make sure it was working and my little reactive text box was working. But today we are going to be making the Minecraft creeper. Um, I did a little research because I already knew the lore of the creeper being a coding bug. It was supposed to be a pig, but they did the body the wrong orientation. Instead of doing it sideways, it went upwards and then had this weird thing where the head kept following him. And the creator said he thought that was creepy and he was going to reuse that to make a monster. But I was doing a little research because I was like, is there any Minecraft lore on what the creeper actually is? And there really isn't that I could find. Everybody has their own personal theories. But I did find that the creator said he imagined it would feel like the texture of dried leaves, and the texturing of the creeper was apparently older leaf textures. So we're going with a sort of branchy. I have this idea of like a spider that's camouflaging itself as branches and leaves. I don't know how this is going to go, but that's kind of what's in my head right now. I'm going to try to go with that. As you can see, I already have my base sculpture here. It's aluminum foil with just wire that's wrapped. This was 4 pieces of wire that I bent in half and twisted together to make this shape. And I'm thinking of those like spiny little spiders. They're almost crab-like they have shells on their backs that kind of stick up. So that's kind of what's in my head right now. But we have to start just covering our base frame right now. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm going with this. I wanted to be as accurate to any information I had, but the nice thing about Minecraft sculptures is that because the artwork is so pixelated, it gives me a great deal of artistic freedom that I wouldn't normally have. So I do kind of like doing these, pixel art type stuff into realism because it gives me a lot of freedom in interpretation, which is fun. And it's not just copying something, it's putting my own spin on it within the framework of, the guidelines of what we have, the basic shape of the creeper, and the fact that we know it's supposed to be a bit leaf-like and a bit camouflaged. But yeah, apparently the explosion thing was kind of a random thought that they just added. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to come up with a reason as to why it might be explosive. I was thinking about potentially adding a little hollow that we can put like a little flame inside of. Well, we'll see how it goes. I'm not sure if that's going to work with the design. My original design would not have been very structurally sound. I had the idea of it being like twisting branches stuck together. Oops. But that would not have been very sturdy. So I kind of abandoned that. We're just gonna cover everything in a thin layer of clay so that we can start working with it. And then when we get to the part with the leaves, I am going to hate myself because it is going to take so long to do so many leaves. So I might do an almost scaly texture, but I really don't want it to look like a bush. I don't want it to look like a walking hedge. So, we'll see. I might do like a very woody type texture and then just add vines and leaves on top. That's my other thought. Why, what were you expecting? Did I say what I was going to do? I didn't remember. I didn't think I had chosen yet. And thank you for stopping by. As I was debating back and forth, I was looking at like D&D stuff, I was looking at more SCPs, yeah, okay. um, I actually changed my mind about 3 times last night when I was deciding what I was gonna do. I almost did the Undying Lizard SCP, and then I was like, nah. And then I almost did a D&D monster, and then I changed my mind. But I didn't have as much time today, so I was like, I think I could do a creeper decently quickly. But I like doing the pixel art from Minecraft because the artwork is so pixelated, it gives me so much more freedom to interpret what it looks like. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure what you meant when you said that. Yeah, I love doing like pixel or older game art because I get so much freedom of interpretation. Because it's like I'm trying to take something pixelated and make it look real. And it's a bit of a challenge, but it's also a lot more artistic freedom. So it's fun. I have done several, I think, Minecraft related things. I still want to do an Enderman at some point. Alright, let's cover the top of his head. I'm still not sold on what head shape I'm going to do. I'm actually thinking about making it a little bit spiny, kind of branch-like, to fit with the whole tree theme, since the original creator did texture it like oak leaves. And it was supposed to be camouflage, so I was kind of like, maybe we'll go with that. So I might see if I can do some like branchy style, like make this a bit trunk-like and then just add a bunch of leaves. I'm not sure yet. I will say though, I hate creepers. They're, they're so annoying. I love playing Minecraft, but creepers are just, they're iconic, but they are very frustrating. And they're so quiet, which is part of what makes them horrifying. They just come up and explode your entire build. I actually have another video game piece that I'll be doing, not on stream, but on in my own free time. It's going to be for some functional pieces for my house for my cats from another video game that I love because I'm making a gravity feeder that's themed off the video game Stray because I love that game so much. Um, so I'll be posting that video later this week too. I just gotta, the materials are coming I think tomorrow, so I'll be working on that hopefully this week. So I should have some more fun videos in between as well. I'm trying to post more. I just don't have a lot of free time. I have lots of stray cats. I am the official crazy cat lady. I have 5 cats. I have a gray tabby. I have a classic like small calico that's like long-haired. I have a tabby calico that's called a dilute calico. So instead of black, she's like a gray, white, orange, and with tabby markings. Um, I have 2 black cats, a very, very tiny one named Ollie, and then I have a bigger one that's male that's got a little white dot on his chest, but he's solid black otherwise, and they both have beautiful yellow eyes. Um, and then I think I already said I already said I had a gray tabby. Yeah, he's the baby. He's not the youngest, but he loves everybody. He's a little social butterfly. His name is Pebble. He's huge too. He weighs like 16 pounds. Yeah, I used to have an orange tabby named Samwise Gamgee. That was like my childhood friend. I loved him so much. He was a sweet boy. I love animals. And I now have two more stray cats running around my property and they're not very tame. They're still pretty feral. But I've been worried about them, but it's like I can't afford any more cats. I really can't. But they're all so sweet. I just go places and find kittens and cats and I'm not trying to. And then I can't leave them, and then I get worried about them, and that's how I have 5 cats. But yeah, 5 cats is a bit much for a house, as much as I love them. They they're a little bit territorial sometimes, so sometimes they fight with each other. I used to have a guinea pig too, but she died last year. Yeah, stray cats are the best. They really are. I think all of my cats have been strays. I don't think I've ever purchased a cat. There's just so many strays where I live. It's actually kind of a problem. It's a problem of kind of doing like the catch and release programs and stuff to get them spayed because it's just there's so many. Okay, that's cool. That's very cool. One of the cats, my youngest Ollie, she was pregnant when I found her, and she was walking around the parking lot at work, and nobody could really take her. People kept saying they were going to, but they didn't. She was hurt, so I took her in and ended up having to find homes for four very adorable little kittens. But yeah, stray cats just cats are as much as I love cats, they are kind of invasive because they populate so quickly. Um, but they're so sweet. I do love them so much. But yeah, I've gotten worried now because I think there might be almost. I think my friend saw a third one last night. So there's like three stray cats that have just been hanging out around my house, and I'm not feeding them. But like now I'm worried and that I might need to catch them to at least make sure that they're like neutered and spayed and make sure that they're okay. So, but I don't know. They haven't been very friendly yet, so I haven't been able to catch them. But they could also be some people's pets, because when you live in rural areas like I do, some people just let their cats run around, which I get, but it's a little hard to tell if they don't have collars and stuff. I'm sure he's pretty balanced. But yes, I am crazy cat lady, unfortunately. Every time somebody has a cat, they're just like, "Could you take it?" And I've had to start being like, "No, I cannot. I'm sorry. I don't have the money." But if they really need help, I will. But it's just yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, yeah, they do love to mess with plants. They're real bad about that. Um, they would learn eventually, but yeah, it's not the best. I've taken to gradually trying to, as I remodel my house, try to wall off areas that they're not supposed to be in or keep certain doors closed. It's like this doesn't need to be a cat area. But they do mine. I have one that just loves to mess with plants and stuff. So, yeah. Is it like the smaller breeds of cacti, or is it the ones that, like, if you get close to them, you get all the little spines in your fingers? Because my grandmother used to have one. I don't know much about the types, but she used to have one that was almost fuzzy, but like if you touched it, you could get it in your fingers. But I have no idea what type of cactus that was. Okay. That's cool. I love plants. I'm just not great at I've mostly just done like I have a little hydroponic system that I grow like lettuce and stuff in. I do love gardening, but I've never done much with houseplants. And I don't know much about cacti. They're very cute though. I always love them. They're so pretty. Okay. Because I've seen some of the ones with the tiny spines and they look so inviting to touch, but then when you do, you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Okay. That's very cool. All right, we're almost done covering this. But yeah, cats and houseplants can be a really bad combo, and you have to be especially careful because cats love to chew on things. You don't think of that. A lot of people don't think of that at least because, we always think of little puppies and stuff chewing, but yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I do often see like the ones they kind of don't take care of in the stores, the plants, and you're kind of like, oh, I feel bad for them. But yeah, cats will just chew on things and then end up there's a there's a plant that my family always had, and it's one that's actually really toxic to animals. It's not a cacti. It's one that has like runners and vines. It's very pretty. And it's one we had to actively keep the cats away from because it can actually I think it causes like throat irritation and stuff, and it can actually be pretty bad. But yeah, they would constantly try to eat it. So I can't imagine what they would do with cacti. But they're not they're adorable, but they're not the brightest. I did have one really smart cat, and the rest of them have not been that bright. But yes, they will mess with every plant that I've ever had. Let's see, where do we want the eyeballs? Okay, I think I like this. Oh, no problem. I appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by. No worries. If you do, I'll be happy, but if not, no problem. You can always catch the video later or see the edited version. No worries. All right. I think we'll cut this off a bit. Don't want this to be too much. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll do the face kind of here. Okay, we'll do the face here. Boop. Losing my tools. I gotta look at the Minecraft creeper face. It's mostly just like two black eyes and then a slightly curved, downward curved mouth. Though with pixels, it's always hard to tell. I might go for more of a skull interpretation here. Here we go. I need to do more artwork of my cats. I'd done an orange tabby that was inspired by mine, but I should do some animal characters based on my cats. It'd be fun. Okay. Face. Reflective there. Alright, and then we'll do mouth. Let's see, the mouth goes about here and here, and then upward. Okay, and I think we're going to make the base body be somewhat wood-like, wood and tree-like, and then we'll add the leaves and stuff on top. But I will still make it green. Oh, you know what I could do? If I want to do like the base to explain the fire, let me see here. I could do a knot, a giant like knot hole here. Need to get this light slightly. There we go. We can see that a little better. If I do a giant like knot hole here, it's to be bigger than that. Okay. As deep as we can. We are going to run into the wires that we have in the center here. That's okay. I can still make this work. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna try to make this look like a giant knot hole, and then I have these little stones that look very fire-like, so I probably can do like a fake little bit of fire glowing in here, and then we'll cover this in leaves too, so it looks like there's a an active fire in the heart of the creeper. Is that better? I think the dark background does help contrast with this, but I'm always worried that you can't see the details very well. Okay. Blend this onto the body a little bit. Okay. And we'll start kind of a wood texture if we can. And we'll start covering in leaves, but I'm trying to see here because I wanna get the face right. But I want him to look angry as well. So I think we're gonna add angry eyebrows. He's looking a bit like Oogie Boogie right now. It was not my intent, but we'll get there. Slowly but surely he will look correct. But yeah, I did get a bunch of materials to do some art in the very near future. I'm going to be doing the gravity feeder that's going to look like a pipe, and I'm going to do like the graffiti and stuff that you find in Stray, the video game. Because I love that game so much. My cats won't care, but it'll be a gravity feeder that works better than the ones I have. Because they never work right. The food always gets caught, and then you have to shake it down. And it defeats the purpose of the gravity feeder. Okay. Shaping his face a little bit more. A little bit of a chin. Not much. Just a little bit. Should we have teeth? I don't know. Okay. Let's make some edges around these a little bit. Kind of like lips, but also kind of like wood pattern, and we'll kind of blend it in. Okay. Okay. All right, so still got to work on the legs. That needs a lot of work, but let me start texturing the face just so I can kind of get a feel for where I'm going with this. Because I think I know what I want to do, but I kind of want to see it take shape a little more. Start doing wood grain patterns so you can kind of see where we're going with this. The only thing is this camera is so dang reflective. Or this light, rather. I don't know if it's better with the light off. Maybe it is better with the light off. Or maybe if I can turn the light down a little. Here, let's try that. Let's turn the light down a little, get us some more shading. I think I need more backlight, like more just ambient light in the room. I'm probably going to work on that soon. When I get the new mic and I start fixing some of the setup, I'm going to see if I can improve this issue, because I have this a lot where it gets so reflective you can't really see the details that I'm doing. It may also just be that it looks worse in the OBS window than it does in the actual video. There we go. All right. So yeah, we're gonna stick very closely to the oak leaves theory that this is some sort of my personal canon is this some sort of explosive spider creature. I'm gonna make the legs look a little creepier than this. Like not spidery, but like what's the word I'm looking for? Insect-like or bug-like creature that disguises itself. And I don't think that this is a real face. My argument would be like, you know how bugs have like those fake faces that they do to scare off predators? Um, there's caterpillars, for example, that look like they have eyeballs on them. That's kind of what I'm going for here. I think this is like the fake face to scare off the predators. I think I'm gonna do like an actual mouth or something down here, like a spider a little bit. I think that'd be kind of cool. Because then we can stick with that sort of camouflaged appearance. The fact that the creator said that it was textured with oak leaves and they imagined it was like a bunch of dry leaves that explode and catch fire kind of thing. So if we stick with that headcanon, if you will, I think this idea will work pretty well. So it's like some sort of four-legged crab, blah, 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 crab spider creature. There we go. And you can see all the texture that we're slowly adding. Maybe a little brighter there. Which does beg the question, if we consider this like a fake face or something, does that mean? Although the head does follow up here, that is true. So maybe we shouldn't go for that. Because the head does very much follow where you are. I do kind of still like the idea of having some stray branches at the bottom that look like pinchers or fangs. So I might still do that. Okay, let's do the back of the head. But yeah, I was thinking a little bit of those spiders also that they have like these almost spiny like shells on their backs that can stand up pretty high actually. And that's also kind of what I had in mind for this particular take on the design. If you hear my cat crying, I'm sorry. She's at the door now. It's the little tiny one, Ollie. She's she gets lonely and she hears me in here talking and she wants to be in here. She's cute. Poor baby. She gets so much attention, but you know, it's never enough. I shouldn't get in the habit of letting her in, but she sounds so cute that I might think about it. I really shouldn't, though. Okay, no, I'm not going to do too much more because I still got to do quite a bit with the body, so I don't want to add more texture that I'm going to end up destroying later. But mostly just we finished the wood texture on the head. That's the main thing. Okay. Now let's see, what can we do with these legs? I think if we wrap them and make them... Now, if I look at the design, I do think it kind of looks like they have like toes a little bit. So let's like add some viney type shapes to make them have some additional toes that we can sort of turn into claws. Kind of going for that crab or like the end of like a fly's foot that has like the toes kind of. Let me take this, see if we can... Let's do this, put it here and then wrap it. Like this and kind of blend it into the body a little bit. Like that. And then we can do defined nails on each of these. But we'll do that when we get to the detail stage. For now, let's just go with the overarching design. Whoops, that's not enough clay. Let's add a little more to that. Didn't mean to make it quite that thin. Okay. So we're gonna... All right. Yeah, I was trying to think if there's a way that I can add a tribute to it being a pig. Well, the original coding being a mistake that they made and they intended it to be a pig and it wasn't. So that's something else that's going through my head because I love to do like just little subtle hints. So I almost wonder if I could do a little bit of a pig snout without being too, you know, too obvious. Because it could almost... That's very subtle. Let's try to make this blend. Do this. Let's kind of melt it sideways a little bit. Oh, hey, you're back faster than I thought. Here we go. We've made some progress. Done some nice texturing, and I'm adding a little tiny hint of like a pig snout because the original creeper was a coding bug that was meant to be a pig, but they messed up the dimensions. So I'm gonna make this a little bit like a little bit. There we go, and we'll hide it in leaves too, so it's a little more subtle. Here we go. All right, go back to adding vines to make the legs have little bits of claws on the end. Oh. Yes, it looks very much like a log. I'm trying to go for the plant thing. Then we're going to wrap it in vines and leaves to make it look creeperish. Okay. Oops, I need more clay. Because all the original textures for the creeper, I believe, were oak leaves and plant-based things. So I'm going with walking, living plant that explodes. That is my only design idea at the moment. So here we go. Blend this in a little bit. Here we go. Alright, so now we have the vine, bending vines of the legs all done. It kind of looks like a demented ent right now. A little bit. Okay. Let's see. Alright. I'm gonna give it the impression of having little bits of teeth. Not very big, just a little bit. Ridge the mouth a little bit. A sandbox tree? Ooh, what's a sandbox tree? Like, I know in the game, the actual texture that they used for the creeper was the original oak leaf texture, but then they changed the oak leaf texture so it's not the same anymore. What's a sandbox tree? Ooh, interesting. Oh, they're like spiky. I've seen them before. Okay, interesting. I wish they had varieties of creepers, you know? Like, I wish they had ones that showed up in different biomes in the game because they all look the same. It'd be cool if they showed up in different biomes with different camouflage textures that match their environment. Their seed that explode. Ooh, that's a cool idea. That does fit the creeper a little bit because he explodes. So what I'm doing right now, this little like knot hole that he's got is gonna have a flame in it. Seed pods. Okay. Yeah, I see the seed pods when I googled it. That's the fun part about the creeper kind of is that everybody has like headcanon for what would explain what they are, even though reality was just a coding bug that they thought was cool. But yeah, I was looking for different inspirations. The sandbox tree's cool. No, I think I'm gonna roll out a bunch of vines here. Well, let me texture the base back a little bit, and then we'll continue adding more texture, and then we'll add the vines and the leaves. Because that is the one thing that the creator of the game and this particular creature did say, is that he thinks that they're covered in leaves, and that's what he imagined. So we're gonna. Yeah, there's a couple plants that propagate by exploding seed pods. It'd be fun if the creeper had something like that, like it exploded. I mean, it wouldn't be fun. That's terrible. It would just explode and create more creepers. Hey, no worries. Like I said, you can always watch the videos later if you're interested. No big deal. I appreciate you stopping by. Alright. Continue adding ridges and texture here. I hope you enjoy whatever it is you're going to do. Texture, lots of texture. And then as soon as we have enough, I can't talk today. As soon as we have enough texture, I will add the vines. We'll see where that takes us. Okay. We can do the underside kind of like a log too. Kind of cool. There we go. Okay. Okay, here we go. The feet are going to be a little fragile, but that's okay. We can work with that. Okay. You know, if I thought about it more, I could have hollowed the log out and actually had a creature like sticking out of it, but I didn't think about that. That would have been another interesting and curious take. Kind of like the seed pod exploding. That'd be kind of neat too. Here we go. Let's make the distinctions that I blended in a little bit more so it looks like they're a little less blended so that we have some more twisting going on with the oak. The oak branches. Well, it could be like a seed pod that's fiery, or better yet, an acorn since we're doing oaks. We could absolutely do like a little acorn shape that has a flame coming out of it. That'd be kind of cool. We have flammable acorns inside of them. There's doesn't make any sense, but you know, it's still cool, so I might do that. So it's like something that's disguised itself as an oak tree. It's a cursed oak tree. I like that idea. Okay. I like adding lots of lumpiness to the tree. That's why I keep indenting pieces like this. Because I think it adds character. Most of the coolest trees I've seen have lots of twisting shapes and lumps and stuff on them. Okay. And when we get to the leaf part, I am going to hate myself so much. Just the sheer number of leaves that I am gonna have to make. Why do I do this? It's like when I do feathers. Every time I have to do feathers, I'm always like, why do I do this to myself? I need to 3D print like a cutout to speed up feather patterns like in different shapes because that would seriously help. Same thing with leaves. I should have seen if I could have gotten a leaf pattern cut out because that would have saved me a great deal of time compared to what I'm about to do. That's okay. 'Tis worth it for the sculpture. I shouldn't be so impatient. Okay. Alright, so now we have a very twisty, textured tree-ish shape. So now we're going to, oh, I gotta do, hold on. Do the circle patterns underneath here. Let me find. Trace the different growth rings on the underside. So the underside looks like a log. You can see the texture a little better. I wonder how small the acorn has to be. Very small. Actually, let me flatten this a little bit here so that we don't just have exposed aluminum foil. I'll cover it with a tiny bit of clay. The aluminum foil doesn't take paint very well. Okay. So if we make a really tiny little acorn, I don't even know what a flaming acorn would look like. Okay, tiny little acorn. So tiny is so tiny. Yeah, oh, I know. We'll use the top of the acorn like a little wick. That might work. So then if we have the little acorn sitting here in his tummy, like so, like that, then we can put a little flame almost like a candle at the very top of the acorn. That'd be kind of cool. I think we're going to go with that. So we're going to texture the top of the acorn just a tad. It's like they're filled with little acorn bones. I don't know that that makes any sense, but then the creeper exploding doesn't really make sense. So there is no logic here, only vibes and what feels cool. So we're going with it. All right, so we're gonna wrap some vine pieces around the body, and then we're gonna start applying leaves. Lots of leaves. And I'm going to hate myself the entire time for making myself do this. Okay, so let's do here. Wrap this up here. Kind of blend it a little bit here into this portion. Okay. Let's continue attaching it a little bit better here. I do always imagine vines kind of growing the same direction. I don't actually know that that's accurate, but I don't know why. It just looks better artistically to have your vines in a similar twisty direction. And because this is part of the tree as well, we're going to kind of stick to that. So there's one of the vines that we added. There we go. Okay, let's do another one. Oops, that's not the right way. Twist this way. No, so let's do. Let me think. Hold on. It's like this. I messed this up. No, that wraps around. Don't overthink it. Just go with it. Let's make this piece a little thinner. Since it's going to be on the head, we'll make this a lot thinner. And then, okay, so then we'll have this vine kind of grow out of this leg, wrap around into here, kind of go up, up, down, up, and like this. Okay. That should be okay. And then we'll blend it into this here. All right. Okay. Do that. Now, the only thing about the leaves is it's going to be a nightmare to paint them because they're going to be kind of hanging over this. So we'll see. I'm thinking if I do larger leaves, I might actually do a bunch and then attach them to the sculpture afterward. That might work better to create a more realistic effect. That way I can appropriately color this base of the tree log creeper thing that we're making. I don't like it wrapping. Well, maybe it should. We'll leave it. We'll leave it like that. Okay. So now that we've done that, let's see how we fare with leaves. Now, oak leaves have a lot of different shapes. I don't know if I'm realistically going to be able to make... So yeah, I am thinking I may add the leaves after the fact. Because that might work better. Let me pull up oak leaves here. Okay, I'm thinking white oak is what my brain is telling me. But bur oaks would probably be easier to do, or red oaks would be easier to do. But I think white oak is probably what they had in mind. So we'll kind of do, let's see if we can do some, let's do bigger leaves. That'll probably work better if we do bigger leaves. And then just... No, that's not. I don't like that. Hold on. I knew this was going to be the part that I didn't like. Okay. All right. We're going to do the basic shape and then flatten it. Oak leaf shape. Okay. And we'll just do a little line here and here and here and here. But I do think we are gonna have to make these to be attached because I think I'm not going to be able to paint under them really, and they'll break off and it'll just be a nightmare. So we are going to do this with the expectation of gluing these all on. So we're going to make the leaves separate. Just a bunch of little leaves. Okay. Yeah, because then I'm thinking we'll just do leaves on top of leaves and just layer them all over. I'm trying to think of how many I need to make. A decent amount. Because we're going to need them wrapped around the top too. Or, you know, I could just say I might have to add them to the sculpture because I don't think if I try to glue them on later, while that will make it look better, the leaves are not going to curve the right direction. Okay, yeah, change my mind again. We're going to have to glue them on or attach them now because it's not. I don't think it's going to work if I try to do it the other way. I think it would have looked cooler, but I'll deal with the painting. If I water down my paint, I should be able to get the base coat pretty accurate. I'll just have to be patient when I paint. I can do it. I'll make it work. But yeah, I think it's going to cause more issues now that I'm looking at this with the way it's going to have to like wrap around the head and stuff. It'll cause more issues if I try to add them later, although it would look, it's kind of a trade-off. But yeah, I don't think I can. We'll just attach them and then attach them securely. Try to wrap them all around the body. You can kind of see where we're going with this. Oh, and do I want to do the little like thing pinchers sticking out here? That might not, maybe not. That might not look quite how I'm intending it to look. Although I could do like two little tiny feeler type things. Like little vines here and here, so that will look okay. We can do it. I wasn't sure there for a second. I was like, maybe that's not a good idea. But no, we can make this work. That way there's like two fangs at the base. So we can get that spider appearance that I always kind of had in my head for some reason. And then we can attach this better to the wood texture. I could try to do like two sneaky little eyes down here to imply that it is like a spider creature and this is like a fake face. I do kind of like that concept still, even though the eyes technically follow you from the top. There could be other explanations for that, right? Yeah, let's do that actually. Let me see. I think I have some tiny little red. May not be small enough. Hold on. They might be the smallest I have. Okay, let me see if I can work this out. Actually, no, I have little metal beads. Let me do the metal beads because I can do a couple of them. Okay, let's do this. I can make this work. So we can still accomplish the spider look a little bit. We're only going to do 4 eyes, though. I'm not going to do more than that. Here we go. And yes, I know I'm taking a great deal of artistic license on this one, but I'm enjoying it, so. I feel like the creeper is one of those things where you kind of have the right to, because it's so random, and there is no real technical accurate take on things other than that the creator was trying to create a pig. Which is why I gave him a little snout nose up there. Okay, we're gonna kind of shape the clay around the eyes a little bit. And then I will put some leaves down here to kind of hide these so they're not terribly obvious. Visible, but not super visible. Okay, so now we have this. All right, I'm liking this. I'm having fun with it. So we're gonna. Then it kind of gives me almost like the crab idea, like this is not it's like its shell or something that it's looking out of. It's not its real body shape. Okay, yeah, we can hide that a little bit. All right, we're gonna attach this securely to that one fang. Flatten them onto the body. It doesn't look as good, but I think it's better structurally sound, because if I had that many leaves, they'd all break off. Okay. Okay. Let's see if we can kind of angle this upward to here. That way also kind of hides the lower part of the creeper again, so that our little design isn't terribly obvious. All right. We need a big leaf going across here. Actually, we'll let that one be down here. So we'll put this leaf here. All right. And then we'll add a smaller oak leaf here on the leg. Actually, we can leave that one more exposed over back here. And we can also give a greenish tint to the log that it's on. I don't want to do too much because, again, it's supposed to be oak leaf. And the oak leaf texture in Minecraft has changed quite a bit, because like the newer ones show through a little bit. They don't show branches exactly, because that's not how the texture design works, but they are a little bit more see-through and you can see the wood beneath. So I'm kind of taking a little liberty with that, but I think it makes sense. Let's do this. Okay. I'm in the stage of artwork known as regret. I remember one time I was doing a costume for a Ren fair and I decided to paint scales on leggings by hand. It was not fun. It was I kind of like mindless tasks sometimes, but yeah, the scale legging thing was not great. And every time I do something mildly repetitive, I always think of that. And I'm like, oh, that took me forever. It's the stage of artwork known as regret, where you're like, do I really need to do all of these details? Is it really necessary? But then you see the end product and you forget about how long it took you, and it's all worth it. So it always is. Just have to have patience. Okay, So I think that's good for the lower half. I think we're going to start doing the side here. I'll keep rotating it so that we get the leaves like, oh wait, I probably need one more on the front here. One more on the front. You can kind of see where we're going with this. Okay. Okay, so that's, for the time being, that's okay. Now let's rotate it this way. I need to have a large leaf coming down this direction and a smaller one going up. So we'll do the smaller one here, like that. Okay. Okay. It'd be funny if the creeper produced like gunpowder acorns and then, because they do drop gunpowder, they explode and they drop gunpowder. So I'm always like, well, what if they look tree-like, but they're technically an animal? What if they have like fake seeds? That would be interesting. I think there's another thing where they were designed with TNT, because that is, I think, the only thing with like fireworks and stuff that explode in Minecraft that I know of. So again, I am taking a ton of just fun hypotheticals here and not really being accurate to anything in particular, but because it's so vague anyway in the game, I feel justified in doing so. I did also love looking up the artwork. When I was looking up creeper artwork, I saw a lot of people who saw them as like more fungal spores. Some people saw them as like the distorted skeletons of previous players, and it was a lot of fun. I love reading canon stuff for lore that doesn't necessarily have an explanation. I do usually prefer having actual official explanations, but sometimes it's fun just to theorize a little bit. So this is kind of what I'm doing with this. It's my own fun little what if. Hopefully people will find it cool rather than be annoyed by it, because I know whenever you do that, some people will be like, oh, well, you missed this official thing and this official thing. And I'm like, I know, I was just having fun. And Minecraft is a very fun thing to play with and develop lore. Okay, so we got kind of the side now covered in oak leaves. But I do have methods for my madness. Like the oak leaf thing is an official thing. That was the, here we can add another one around the face here. That was the texture, and it is officially said that they're supposed to be camouflaged and leaf patterned. And I don't like the idea of a walking hedge, so a walking log with leaves seems much more palatable. And the spider thing is just completely my own randomness, because I can. There we go. All right, so we got that here. Okay. Okay, I think I'll do a leaf here. Okay, I'll do one there. I will say, once you've made something a couple times, it gets a little easier. So this style of oak leaf is becoming simpler as I'm going. Okay. Now we do the back. Let's do some larger leaves. Oh, hey, you're back. I didn't realize you were back. Yeah, so because the official texture is oak leaves, I am slowly covering him in oak leaves. And I added a spider face at the bottom, which is no more than my own imagination, but they walk around so quietly like spiders. It just made me think of that. Yes, they are oak leaves. I'm specifically going on white oak because that's what the texture reminds me of in Minecraft is white oak. Um, but yes, the creeper is technically leaf textured. It's just hard to tell when Minecraft is so pixely. Alright, more leaves. And this is a very boring thing where I just keep making leaves. The only part of the sculpture I have left to do is leaves. Yeah, they changed the official oak leaf textures and stuff, but it originally was oak leaves. Because that's what the creator said. He was like, I always imagine creepers being covered in leaves. So that is my inspiration. And the spider thing is just because I think they're creepy. Alright, we'll do a small leaf up this direction. So, or we could, it's gotta go up this way. And then we'll do a big, large leaf here. Okay. Yeah, now the texture looks a lot more akin to the grass, more so than the leaves. But the oak leaves what inspired me to make him very log-like and covered in vines and leaves. I'm almost done because I just got to do the back, the side, and a couple on the head. Okay. Do yes. Do this one here. This is going to be a nightmare to paint, but we'll worry about that next week. All right. I think this light needs to go. I can see the shadows a bit better. Okay. More leaves. At least the white oak leaf shape is fairly simple. Here we go. Lots more leaves. Nice big leaf. This one. We'll do it here. Okay. Another leaf. Mm-hmm. Okay. There we go. Let's see, we'll put this one. It's hard because I'm trying to cover it in leaves, but I want the underlying wood to be visible still, to a degree at least. There we go. Do a couple more small leaves up here on the back of the head, and then we'll rotate it around. I do like my little spider fangs. I just kept thinking about all the spiders and just, I like it. I'm glad I did that. It's not as accurate perhaps, but nobody knows where creepers are technically, so I can make them what I like. All right. I will say though, I don't think the painting's going to be quite as bad as the sculpting, but it probably will because I'll have to paint each of these leaves by hand. All right, another leaf. Let's do this one downward like this. We'll do another small one going up. I am trying to be accurate because usually oak leaves I think alternate. Well, vine leaves do typically. Depends a little on the plant. But usually most of the plants I've seen the leaves alternate. So I'm trying to keep somewhat accurate to that pattern to a degree. Okay. Okay, I think we need another small leaf here. What time is it? Okay, we're not quite 9 o'clock. I'm getting there. I do have some errands to run tonight. Okay. Leaves, leaves, leaves. All right, we just got to do the side here and then a little bit on the head. Let's do a small one coming down the forehead. Okay. So we need another leaf coming down this way. More leaves. This is making me have flashbacks to working in a greenhouse and picking lettuce and just seeing leaves everywhere. So many leaves. All right. Let's see. So this one goes down like so. And we'll do one small leaf hanging down this way. Kind of see we still got some bare spots that we gotta cover a little bit. All right. This leaf down this way. Okay, and then we'll do a small leaf on the other side of the face. Coming up here. Little leaf for the face. Right about here. And then I think we need another one right about there to cover that bare spot. That's a little too big. We'll do a smaller one. There we go. I'll have to look this over and I might do, oh, I need a few for the legs still. Okay. we go. Smaller leaf. And then we'll need a couple small ones to put near the legs. Okay. We need one going up here on this leg, and then probably one wrapped around this leg, and then I think we'll be done with him. So we have our little flaming acorn that I put inside his stomach, which is my explanation or reference to the explosions. We have a little bit of a pig nose on the face, and then my spider idea, just because the spider face idea, because they're creepy and they stalk you like spiders. Okay, do this up here. All right, I'm gonna need one leaf coming down this direction. Yeah, this is gonna take some delicate painting. But that is a problem for future me. Okay. All right. Oh, let's do it this way. Perfect. Okay. We have finished our creeper. My version or take on the creeper, inspired by the fact that the creator said they were leaf-like, and my own concept of it being like something in camouflage, so it's like a creature camouflaging itself. So I had the insect bug idea. So we did a little spider face with fangs at the base. And because it was oak leaf textured, we have covered him in oak leaves. And we've given him the classic 4 legs. I will do little claw pieces painted on the tips of these, since if you look at the texture, there are noticeable like toe claw thingies. So we're gonna go with claws. But yeah, this is our creeper for now. We are done with him. I will be painting him next week. Yeah. The spider face is there. And then that way it's kind of hidden in the leaves. But yeah, I'm actually, I wasn't sure how it was going to go, but I'm pretty happy with him. I love seeing everybody's take on creepers because they're all so different. But this is my version of what I imagine. So I appreciate you hanging out with me. Kinda. I was trying to make it look creepy, but I have this insane ability to make everything look adorable. And even when I'm not trying. But we'll see. I think the paint will help the effect. But it's kind of cool. I mostly just wanted it to look unique. So, and I had the idea of it being like the fake face that insects like caterpillars and others have. So like the real face is down here with the eyeballs and the fangs. And then this is like the predator face to scare stuff off. Yeah, I've seen a couple. There was somebody who took it as like a spore, like mold slime thing. So, yep, I wanted to kind of do my own unique take on it. But yeah, I appreciate you hanging out with me. I have to run because I have some tasks to do tonight. But I will be back next week to paint it. Hopefully I'll see you then. And to anyone who watches this later, I greatly appreciate all the interactions I get. Let me know if there's other stuff you want to see me sculpt. And I hope that everyone has a lovely, lovely night or morning, whatever time it is for you.